That whole broadbands.
We had,
Them's broadbands.
no, if we had dual 56k modems, we could
Two. So if you had two landlines in there.
Damn it.
Just make sure Mum doesn't need to use the phone. And it'll be
Yeah.
alright.
God damn it, Mum! Like,
Hated that about. And then they're like, "Shut up! It's my phone." I'm like, well, I used to pay for the internet. Did you know?
Yeah, I used to pay for the fucking phone.
What? What do you mean?
Exactly. They used to pay for the phone.
What do you mean you used to pay for the phone?
Mum and Dad used to pay for the phone. Which you were leeching off your internet, so therefore they're still superior.
what? You said you used to pay for the phone.
Yeah, that's what you just
No,
said.
I didn't.
Yeah, you said I used to pay for the
No, I
phone.
said
They.
they.
You said I.
We'll go back to the audio.
I used to pay for the phone. That's all
And
I was really. I was like, what do you mean?
Like, what? And I was about to say, like, yeah, I'm sure they told you that that's $7 a month was paying for the phone.
I'm going to go back and look at the audio
Yeah.
and video to see.
You're tired. You had a big day at work today.
This is the Trusty Crowbar, and sitting here is myself, Lucas Whittingslow.
Thank you. Reese Whittingslow.
Douglas Bride.
Where's the and?
And
All right, this is a video.
Right at the end.
This is a podcast about video games, and that's what we're going to
and
discuss.
a vodka.
Now, you might be watching this on YouTube or listening to this in audio form. If you are watching this on YouTube, please write a
Don't
comment.
forget to like.
Like it or dislike it. It'll tell us if
Don't
it looks
dislike
cool or
it.
not. But
Everyone's just going to be like, thumbs down.
leave us a comment because,
Chuck us a comment.
like, we always like when people give feedback, even if they do say that Doug knows jack shit.
That's fine.
So that's or if they do say that the host, aka Lucas, at the present time was
The
originally
hostess with the mostest.
the mostest lameness.
I think it was dislikes. I got the most dislikes.
Yeah. So now Lucas and Doug have both had something bad said about them.
For some reason.
The whole reason why I sit front on is because they probably could say something about my big schnoz. So that's about it that they have to say
Hang on,
about
hang on.
me.
No, I do have to point something about you sitting front way, and you
Front way.
said
Front way.
you asked me when a few episodes ago it was just Doug and I that were on it, and you were like, "Did you two lamos sit face to face and not side
Yeah,
by
well,
side?"
you should have. Well,
Hang
it was
on,
just
hang
used
on a
to.
sec, hang on. And then I watched last week's episode,
We
which
did
was
it
used to. All right.
We did it to take.
We had the
we did it to take the
conversation.
piss
Did
out
you
of
actually have a conversation
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah. And then we put you
Yeah,
as
you
the
put a picture of me, which when I was watching it, it was in low res on my little phone, so I thought you took a naked photo of me and put it up.
We took a naked photo of you and went,
Yeah,
what we should do?
You hacked,
Let's go to
you
Luke's
hacked into
house.
my computer and stole my naked photos.
Okay.
Why do you have naked photos sitting on your computer?
They're not on my computer.
I
They're on
did
the
have
family
a-
computer.
I did have a topless photo of you that Reese was like, use that one.
I
And
thought-
was
I
like,
thought-
I won't be fussed.
And we're going
But
to cut
did-
it out and
Oh,
put it on
yeah?
the chair, but
It looked like you were wearing a fur coat.
it did. It actually
Game of
did.
Thrones, episode 2.
Hold on.
Oh, thanks. Actually, let's start discussing a video game that we all finished. Now, this is surprising for this podcast that the
we all
three of
have
us
finished a game.
have finished a game.
And even more surprising, you both finished it before me.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's probably the
was
most surprising, to be honest.
And we actually forced Reese to finish it tonight before this podcast.
Well,
actually.
Luke and
But
Doug
the
were
funny
on
thing was, you probably didn't think you were as close to the end as you were.
No.
Yep. Like,
Because when you came into work and you were like, oh, I'm at this part, and I was like, oh, you're not far, and you're like, oh, yeah, but I have to get to the prelogue or the prologue and all this and that, and I was like, I didn't want to like spoil it and say, no, that's literally the last scene.
Well, nearly. Nearly, let's go.
Not like this guy that ruins
Where the fact, like,
vampires.
right at the end wasn't really
Spoilers.
that intense of that game because I literally wanted to finish it, so I ran through everything, which I chose to run. So, which
I
is,
could run in
Yeah,
bits.
no,
so
I'm
there's
just saying.
particular spots.
I actually think there was pretty minimum amounts.
Yeah, there's
of
not very
spots
many that you can't
because
run.
you can't run.
You
exactly.
jog. It's
You can
just like
jog. And I think that you probably would have got to events and gone, ugh. Like you probably would have tried to run right at the start, and you wouldn't have been able to run, and you would have given up on trying to run.
Whereas the way I play, I keep clicking in the left thumbstick until I
Constantly, yeah.
until
So-
I run.
And then that's when you go, what the fuck?
When
Yeah.
I realised why I initially had trouble on GTA Online the other night, and you
Shrinkingies.
also did, we'd been playing that.
Yeah.
And the control scheme is so
Just
back
mix
to
about,
front
yeah.
that I was like, you kept trying to. You were on voice chat.
You were saying, press X, and you're like, X is in a different spot.
No, he was like, how I
doesn't
couldn't
get
work
the
out how to
joke.
run and do things on GTA. Although GTA probably has a fairly unique control scheme, but I've not played it for a long time.
And then you play online, and then you play first person.
It did take
I had
at least 10 minutes of GTA last night to get the control scheme back in my head. And I was like, oh, that's right, this button does
Oh
this. and
wait,
this and
maybe
that.
that's because you're level 3.
Yeah, I thought I was a much higher level and then jumped in the game. and, no.
Purposely, purposely grinded a little bit last night so we could try and advance up some levels.
It was so shocking. He's level 3.
And people, what level are you now?
25, I think.
And people like 150.
Are they?
Some of them
Yeah.
was like 200, I think.
Really? Far out.
Yeah, the leveling system is odd.
It just keeps going.
Because it was you. You were just like, oh, you reckon that he like is annoyed that I'm on his heist team right now? Remember when
Oh,
we
yeah,
got
that was
into one
like-
for about 3 seconds and then it stuffed up?
Yep.
Oh, because you're such a low level.
We'll talk about GTA Online next. But
Let's do the
have
order.
a-
So let's
Oh, we're
talk about,
keeping on topic.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
let's
for a
talk
moment.
about because when we actually first discussed the order, we all hadn't finished it yet, and we had a few issues, which as we were playing the
and we
game,
spoke,
we'll
Reece
talk
and I
about.
spoke about last week. And
It's always easier to talk about negatives in games than
So
positives.
let's talk about the positives of this game.
very pretty. And did I mention last
the
week?
cloth.
No, did I mention? Yeah.
The hair.
I think I mentioned
The
last
eyes.
week that my girlfriend, who is a non-gamer, had mentioned, damn.
Mate, she plays 64. All right?
True. But she was like, when did games start looking this good? And as
Because
someone...
last game she probably played was Nintendo 64.
Yeah, but she watches me play other stuff. So it's like, as it's sort of progressively stepped up, it's like, yeah, there's lots of really, I guess, probably technically impressive things that they've like done so many visually
Yeah.
intense things all together. And it does look really good. And as Reece said, the cloth, as I had pointed out, like they did all these probably unnecessary things, but in a hope to keep you in the game, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd probably never thought that it visually was that much different. But she'd would walk past, she's like, "What are you playing? That is like crazy realistic." And then another friend was like, "Damn, that is violent." When I was killing a werewolf.
I reckon at the time when there's like really low light things and they have the glimmer of light and all that, it does make it look really, really nice.
But you'd wonder then.
Especially, there was one shot
when you're in the carriage.
and you're going down the ladder.
Oh no.
No, okay, not the carriage, the big airship.
Blimp.
Blimp.
We call them blimps.
I'm
Lucas.
pretty sure it was an airship in the game.
Blimp.
Okay, the big
I reckon
blimp.
it's an airship.
And you were going down, and as you'd just broken in, and you split up between two, and you were going off with Frenchie.
Yep.
And then you get up to the ladder, and you just go down the ladder. There was one shot which had the sunlight just gleaming through these bars and stuff, and you're climbing down. I was like, that shot there looks absolutely amazing, the quality of it. But I feel, and I'm pretty sure I was right. I'm not 100% sure, but even though majority of the motion in the games was rendered on the fly, in-game rendering and stuff, I'm pretty certain there were some shots which were pre-rendered, and then it just had a pre-rendered thing, and then it cut back to the rendered shots, and then you back into the game. But I could be wrong. Some shots just looked really, really nice compared to others.
Even if it did, but it was very seamless.
Well, it matched up very close. Yeah, so
Very, very close.
There was a bit in terms of where I thought it looked good. Maybe it was night where I feel like you were damp or something. You're climbing around one of the rooftop scenes, and I think that's when I thought there was a heap of really nice bits and pieces with.
Sometimes
light and
games
everything
do look
good.
prettier than real life. Because I'm pretty sure if I saw you climbing a roof and you're wet, I'd just be like, ugh.
oh, thanks,
If
Dave.
you see Lucas doing anything,
Oh, especially when he's wet.
Hashtag wet Lucas. Oh. Yeah, that's going to be a Twitter thing now, Doug.
overall, how did you? That was probably
felt
my
like-
opinion of the game. What you just thought then, Reece?
Yeah. Well, out of 10, what would you give the game?
I don't know, 6.5.
Yeah, I'd probably just give it a 6.
I'm for me, the game started off slow,
Yep.
and I wasn't that interested. I was like, okay, there's a bunch of characters which I'm not 100% sure on these people. I'm slowly growing, and I'm going to keep playing to get to know these people. halfway through, I was like, still not really right there in with this game until the last like 4 chapters of the game, when you started, learning all the twists and turns and stuff with the plot, and that's when I was like, this is actually really cool and a lot more in depth than what
Yeah, and then it sort of stops. Like the characters ended up being more shallow than they could have been. Like there was probably a lot of cool characters. It's a cool set, lots going on, but it's just like, I think I said this last week, they just sort of took bits from here and there, and like I said, the fact that Tesla is in it and that the guy is the Ripper and just all these things. They're like, oh, let's take all these iconic things throughout time and sort of try and put it so it fits in, and then who cares? Werewolves, vampires, all that stuff, all things that should make a really cool, interesting story line and story arcs and everything else, and then it just never gets any deeper.
No.
So they've got all the all the ingredients of what should be good, and they don't get there.
I always thought when you said, and I thought you might have missed something when you said it, that every werewolf scene is in a warehouse.
Yeah.
You are 100% correct. At least it's in a warehouse or a freight area where objects are, and there's lots of storage.
Yeah.
Right at the end.
I actually thought the same thing when I was telling you. I'm like, am I remembering this incorrectly? But
right at the end when you're running, I was just running, and then I was chasing a guy who happened to be a werewolf or a half-breed. Yeah, is that right?
And why did they decide they're all half-breeds? But anyway.
And then, so chasing after him, and I yelled out to you and said, oh, werewolf fight. Oh, it's not going to be in a warehouse. Then I went through a door. I'm in a warehouse.
Yeah.
Just every fight, warehouse. You do the exact same thing over and over and over again.
I heard you saying that. As you were playing it, you were just like, warehouse. Oh, you're like, oh, I'm not in a warehouse. Yes, there's no werewolves. And then bang, right there.
And the fact is that there's you...
And the quick time boss fights are always they were in fairly... Oh, yep, here's your room that you're stuck in to do this final boss fight of mash this, mash that.
Without spoiling it when people's listening to it, there's something that happens in it that is another type of creature, and they just put it in for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
not even that.
Here's a part of the story which we could elaborate on.
Evolve so much more.
And for me, that was when I was like, this is really cool. I'm really into this story right now. I want to know more.
But it was still fairly obvious. Within the realm, you're like, yeah, if it's that. For me, just going back to, Underworld.
Yeah.
Think of how many good franchises, movie franchises anyway,
all right, people, there's vampires in it.
Yeah, we're going to... I was going to be we're going to have to do spoilers, which I did say earlier.
Even your Van Helsing, any of that style sort of in that genre, I guess. And they just missed it.
See, I said Doug before...
Because I didn't hate the game.
I thought that your character was going to somehow be a vampire. And it was going to be... That's why you were chasing werewolves all the time, because you were fighting werewolves.
No, I thought that initially.
Because you're a vampire. And because... And it's probably just the limitations or something they just didn't do. I could never catch my reflection in anything.
Oh, so...
You could hold up a light, and a light would glow.
Yeah.
But there'd be no reflection.
No, I noticed that as well.
Also, you thought this was going to be part of the
cool,
plot.
I'm a vampire. And then you'd be like, oh, cool, that's development of a character that really built up well.
But that still could be that.
Yeah.
I doubt it, because why would you
kill
all your race?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you just didn't know.
Maybe they're half-breed vampires.
You're just every time I look in a mirror, people keep saying they see themselves. I have such perfect hair and a perfect mustache.
Yeah, but you're already immortal.
Yeah, but you're immortal because of the things that you drink.
Which is
the Holy Grail.
Which is the elixir of life.
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
Holy Grail, elixir of life?
Yeah. It's the elixir of life in there. It's the Holy Grail that they did find.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they've tied in a lot of...
that's a lot of lore from different things. That's what I mean. It should be good. And
that's the thing. They had a lot of lore, but they had a lot of room to expand on everything, but they didn't.
Okay, then the fact of other news this week that Uncharted 4 has been pushed back. Maybe given this is... And that was obviously the next big PS4 or PlayStation exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this game got pushed forward. Maybe...
No, this game had already been pushed back.
This game got pushed back a lot.
Then maybe that's why.
This was meant to be a launch title, wasn't it?
Yes. It's going to be a launch.
In fact,
that's
it came
what I
out
mean.
a
So
year
maybe
after.
all the technical stuff that they had done then took way longer, which would make sense.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if this is close to pushing the PS4 to limits, because a lot of the...
No, I highly doubt that.
I remember reading that a lot of the developers were saying it's a lot easier to utilise a majority of the PlayStation 4 than it was to utilise, like, the PS3.
But think how simplistic their engine... Like, probably not simplistic, I have no idea. But
I know what you're saying.
There's less
like,
that you can do in it compared to so much other games.
Yeah, I know. But what
Yeah,
you're
they
saying...
made
like,
it really pretty, but then the limitation of that is,
Yeah.
like, you could kick a can. There's some stuff to kick around,
Yeah.
but there wasn't big level destruction. And there was never probably... I don't know what the maximum characters on screen would have been. Like, probably a
10,
few.
12.
There was a bit going on sometimes. But, yeah, I'd get what Reese is saying. Like, they made... Their environments were so pretty, but probably not that interactive.
Yeah.
No, barely not interactive at all.
That is
And
one
not
thing
that dynamic
that
either.
I want to point out about the game was that, like, as you're going through, there were some objects to interact with, but really did nothing for the story as I was going through. Especially, like, there were some which I picked
the
up.
ones you can pick up.
Yeah, and I'm like, what is the... Am I supposed to know, like, read this and know something
Flip it
about
over.
this?
Oh, there's
and flip it
nothing
up?
there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's the
cool.
point of flipping over and it's empty? What
Yeah.
you know? What? And like, and the thing that got me about that was like, there were objects you picked up that were pieces of paper that you couldn't press triangle to flip over.
Yeah, that was weird.
But then there were some you could, and there's nothing on the back. Frustrated me so much. And and there's
Did
photos.
you read the newspaper articles?
No, I tried to read one and I got to a certain point where it was about Jack the Ripper, which is the first one, I think. And I just gave up.
Yeah, I was thinking that I'll probably just wiki it and see if there's actually an explained backstory. Because it didn't interest me enough to sit and read it. And
Well, imagine if you watched playing it on a 32-inch TV.
Yeah.
I struggle looking at it on a 55-inch TV.
To read.
Yeah.
Lucas, did you also get frustrated by you could pick up audio clips?
That was my next thing I was going to say. And like, I listened to the podcast last week and I was like, damn straight. That was one thing which frustrated me.
Because Bioshock said that's the only other game where I've found audio clips around a level.
And they should play
enjoy-
straight away. Because I listened to a couple of them and they had nothing to do with anything that was happening. It was just lore for the story. And I was like, why?
And which
like,
you pick them up in the shittest parts of the game when you're walking around. So you should be able to just play it and walk around and play it.
There was one part as I was going through with the two Indian girls, and we were up in the building, and I was like, it was like, proceed through the window. I was like, no, I'm going to look around the corner. Walked around the corner. There was a door with a lock. I'm like, cool, this is a secret hidden thing. Unlock it, walk in. Tons of stuff in the room. Only thing to touch was a little recording. Pick it up, and it was something.
It's just like the cupboards when you knock books over and you move some paper and the books flop, and you do that 3 times. And
you're like
an area, and you're like, well, what's this? Stop that. Jesus Christ, man, calm your shit.
Oh.
God damn.
Yeah.
So what I did find in the game, that Sebastian, is that his name?
Sebastian.
Yeah. That he is...
Sebastian. That's...
Yeah.
I didn't get that till then.
Is that he is a very courteous man. He opens the doors for women. He shuts every door that he most likely goes through. Even after he's just fought a werewolf or things have been chasing him, he'll just open it up and go, yes, not some
just
slow.
make sure it's
And
closed.
there's a lot of things where there's like so much like action happening. People shooting at you, you get past them, and then you walk. You just casual. You're just like, yeah, cool. Just got shot at.
It's a cool cucumber.
Yeah. He's a very cool cucumber.
My wife pointed out, because she was listening to the game, because she was on her computer while I was playing, and she was like, did everyone take the Liam Neeson class of, like, voice acting?
Angry.
Yeah. Like, whoa. I was just like, yeah, pretty much like everyone had this deep voice that was like, yeah.
Like I said, though, I assume that they just will keep this as a franchise ongoing, and maybe...
I hope so, because
Well,
the
they left
story has a
room
lot
for it.
more to move on to.
Yeah, and maybe they'll be able to just
develop
get it
it,
out
right.
a lot quicker. Like, maybe there was just a lot of hurdles.
Yeah.
I have not went looking if there's been any, like, behind-the-scenes stuff that any developers have spoke to anyone.
I would have loved.
Interesting
I
to
would have
know.
loved there to be like in the extras on the game menu, not to just be credits. I would have loved like
It's not an extra.
a developer diary or something like
Yeah.
that, or actually like an extra
Concept
where you
art
can
or-
turn weapons on or off and go back and replay the game with these weapons or something. Like have the thermite the entire game. That would be so cool. I'd probably do that,
But,
and especially the electric gun. That was heaps fun.
Yeah, I held it for too long and was like, why aren't people getting electrocuted?
What you
Yeah,
held
right.
down the
Yeah, and then you got to let it go.
Oh, did you
I
not
was
realize?
like, what the hell's going on? I kept ducking. Why's it not working? And then got killed.
I feel it would be one that would be interesting, like a dev one, just because it's sort of, I guess, probably the prettiest next gen game. So it'd be just interesting then what the development team went through.
Well, I'm going to put a comparison out there, like completely not gameplay comparison, but development comparison, as looking at like Broken Age, all right? When that was in development, okay, they got up to a certain point in the story, okay, and they're like, okay, we have to release something to start making some money, and that's what they released as Act 1. Okay, you get Act 2. Now, Act 1 ended on a cliffhanger like what the Order 1886 did.
Didn't hang on. No.
In what?
That didn't hang on a cliffhanger?
Yes, it did.
I don't think so. What cliffhanger did it end on?
Broken Age.
No, the
The
order.
Order.
The Order was not a cliffhanger.
Oh, well, not okay, not technically.
It ended and
like
it says, hey, there's going to be number 2.
A story split. Okay, so you are now at the end of the Order. You're a vigilante, basically at the end, and you're going to take on the city. Okay, and you know it moves on to
Broken Age,
Dishonored.
right?
Yeah, it's a Broken Age. The Order. So, like, they both ended at a point where they're the very short first act. Now, Act 2, because it's just the development of the story, they've already got the assets and everything there ready to go. The game's 10 times longer.
Yeah.
The Act 2 is going to be to what Act 1 is. And that's what I feel like the Order
Well,
1886
that is exactly
2.
what happened with Uncharted. Uncharted 1 was quite short. Uncharted 2 was way longer.
Yeah. And
Way
a
longer.
lot better.
And a lot better. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was saying last week as well, that I just sort of figured, or hoped. I'm like, well, there's a lot of...
But
Good stuff
the
there.
story in Uncharted 1 was still sick.
I really like the story in the Order. I'm really into it right now, and I would love to continue playing more. I'm
It just never
personally...
went into anything. Though.
I just think there wasn't much character
Yeah,
development.
they just danced around all these different things.
Yeah.
And
Cloth.
Yeah, I'm personally happy with the length of the game purely for
course you
just
are.
the amount of time I can put into games at the minute. Okay, because I can tick this game as finished. I like when I can do that because I don't get to do it that often. But I completely agree that like the game could have gone on for another like 5-6 hours.
Yeah.
As a continuation, up to a point where you finally took down Lord Hastings.
And there
so we're
could have
just giving
been...
away like major plot spoilers.
And we just said spoilers as well.
We did
yeah.
say spoilers
And
once.
they could have been less nose breathing.
Oh,
So when people actually play the game and get to a certain point, just send us a message and tell us what you thought of the nose breathing scene.
What was her name? What's her
Izzy.
name? Izzy,
Yeah.
when she's...
She breathes out of her nose a lot.
Oh, it's just... There was one point in the game where she...
Loud and long.
Yeah. And I was like, I thought I had adjusted the volume, literally. Like, you pointed it out, and it was only because, like, I remember thinking in my head going, this is really loud, and why is it so, like, in your face?
And then she became a Sith Lord.
Yeah, was that... Okay, the character development, right, of all the other characters was fine, apart from her.
It was abrupt.
Yeah, I felt that she flipped straight away.
Well, when you think about it, okay, she flipped. We didn't see her after that. The big boss, he was a dog. We didn't see him after that. Your mate, cross-job, that's it, dead. That's how it ended. It ended with so many things.
Frenchie, he's like, yeah, okay, it's like we're friends now,
Yeah,
but watch out.
yeah.
Like, all these things weren't answered, and they weren't like, oh shit, what's going to happen with this and this and this? Because it's not like that was at the end, that was the cliffhanger. It was just like, this happened. And then we're going to go to another scene that's completely relevant.
Yeah, there was
from
no
all those
build
other
up. There was no
character
build up to
developments.
something. It was a breakdown of all the relationships, and then that was it. It was literally like, this is the end of this one. This is the end of this one. This is the end of this one. It
Yep.
wasn't. There's more to continue here.
Right.
They. Oh god, I've lost it now.
No, but that's the order.
Yeah, and there was a lot of carnage in that game.
Yep.
And there's also a lot of carnage in Hotline Miami too.
Hello, Miami
Yeah.
too.
Which I wanted to finish this week.
Really?
I actually
Apparently, it's a lot longer than number one.
What are your first thoughts on it?
Really enjoy it.
Yep.
Not enjoyed it. past
Compared to
tense.
number one.
Okay, never got to finish that because I was playing on Windows 8. And did I say this last week?
Don't think so.
Windows 8, there was a bug within that if too many, which was a game dev. What's that? What was it?
Game maker.
Game Maker.
Game maker bug that if too many sounds play at once.
Oh yeah, you
it
did say
crashed
this. Yep. Yep.
it. And so there was a scene where lots of windows got shot, and I couldn't get past it.
Too many windows.
Too many windows.
See, I find that this number two, and now it is fun, it is a lot harder to begin with. It is so much more harder than what number 1 was.
And there doesn't seem to be as many mask options.
I think that's more because the game's so much longer. They're probably going to develop into that.
And
there's more stories. It's not just one story.
I didn't listen to the story at all. I didn't. Was the story of number 1 good?
There wasn't really a story.
Story of number 1 was pretty much Drive with Ryan Gosling.
Yep.
Really? I have to watch that then.
Good
Because
movie.
I played it and I couldn't.
Is
get
it
the story
Drive or is it
Yeah,
Story?
that's-
Yeah, it's Drive.
Yep.
Thing above the pines. No, yeah, Drive.
Yeah,
it's
Drive Club.
Yeah, not Drive Club.
What?
What you talking about?
Yeah, well, he's a driver.
But the thing that
In a club.
frustrates me, and I've read this with a lot of people on them Reddits, that it's a game of cat and mouse where you got to like duck, show yourself, move back, and then people come on screen.
Yeah,
there's
I
a
do.
lot of points on that
Yeah.
where people aren't in view. If it was out a little bit more, it'd be fine, but it's still the same height.
Okay.
But
Could you move the camera like you can on this one?
yeah,
Yeah, you can.
You
Hold
could on,
shift.
You could on the first one?
yeah,
Yeah.
I can't remember.
yeah. But you didn't need to. I never needed to
Okay.
do that in the
I
first one.
always did it in the first one.
Yeah.
I always did it and looked around the room and then
Yeah, I didn't.
figured out what to do.
But I like the fact that there's abilities with different characters. Instead of just being one character that's like good with guns or good with
Yeah, it
bats.
just says stuff, yeah.
It's literally like you can do rolls or you can do like...
Oh, there's actually like a
actual
base-
physical abilities.
Yeah, there's the barrel roll that you
Yeah,
can do.
yeah.
I don't like that.
I hate that.
But there's a like more tank style character, so there's different boss or different like enemy types that you
Tough
fight.
guys, yeah.
And there's a couple that are really annoying that you can only shoot. They
Yeah.
are the worst because I love like chopping and hitting people, but then you come up against those guys. But then you play as how far have you played?
Probably up to the second tape, I think.
So I'm
Yeah.
up to like 4,
Yeah.
maybe like to number act 18. 17,
Right, okay.
something.
Yeah.
I should point out, like, I'm playing with a controller.
Yeah.
So
Same.
that's how I played with the first one. And I gave the mouse and keyboard a go over here before you rocked up
Do you change the speed
But no?
of the
for the
mouse.
mouse? It is really slow.
It's really slow.
Yep, super slow.
And the
Actually, I'll
fact,
probably have to play it on yours. Maybe I did. Maybe I did a little bit.
but the fact that, like, you can move the mouse and it's, like, either close to your character or away from your character, and then you have to, like, move from all the way over there to all the way to the other side to turn around. With the joystick, it's right is right, left is left, up is down.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I just...
Up is
I
up, down is down.
Cannot,
Yeah.
I cannot use a controller when playing the game. So you guys are
love
saying
it.
you find it slower to use
I find it slower to use the
a mouse,
yeah.
where I find it way slower and way gluggier
No.
to use a
I
controller.
find going from looking that way to then straight away looking the other way in an instant without having to move the mouse.
This is what you do.
Large difference.
No.
Yeah, no.
See,
Oh, you
not
guys
with-
would be so shit
not
at
with the-
Counter Strike Go.
Not with the
probably.
default.
You'd be fucked.
Not with the default speed. It is really slow.
Did you try speeding it up a little bit and going, oh, this is way better than controller?
Yeah, I just like playing this game with controller.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay. Also, didn't know. Have you got up to a scene where you're on a ship?
No.
Okay. Anyway, so there's
That's
nothing
it.
to really give
Not
away with this
spoilers.
game.
Spoilers! Oh,
But,
no.
You kill people!
So you're going along.
Hold up.
Heaps of guys with
You
swords.
bought this game, didn't you, Dale?
Yes, and I'll talk about that in a second. But there's like 4 or 5 guys in a row, like
Yep.
as in down the screen. So, but they've all got guns.
Yeah.
And then you've got sort of shipping container crates to hide behind. But then you can't run across and kill them one by one because you get shot. Mm-hmm. I was getting so frustrated because you had to clear out a fair bit of level before you got up to that section. So I was redoing this same section again and again, and it was very annoying. Must have went into controls. Maybe I was checking out what the mouse was all about. I'm like, okay, maybe it would be easy to shoot them with mouse. Maybe that's what's going on because you had commented about using the mouse. Mm-hmm. Lock on. Didn't know there was a lock on.
Oh, you didn't know that was like that?
But
I don't use lock on.
I use lock on.
Yep.
You so
Lock on's
shit.
great.
No. With this one section though, like bang, like it was. I just could not do it with the controller because you had to draw they're ducking behind a crate. You have to draw their fire and then shoot them.
Yeah.
While they pop up. Basically.
Are
impossible.
you a curious player?
How so?
Okay, because there's a scene in it.
Bi-curious?
I'm
Yes.
kissing the computer. When there's a scene when you're playing in the movie part where No. Actually, you're one of the guys with the masks, and you go to save someone's sister or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And you go in there, and she goes, "Why would I go with you? You just killed all my friends." And you're like, "Well, you're an idiot." And she's got the gun, she's shaking at you.
Yeah.
Did you move forward, or did you just leave?
No, I think I did. I can't remember now. Did she shoot you?
Yes.
And you die.
And you start right back at the start of that.
Oh, no.
So I was just like, I'm curious. Walk a second, she shoots you, you die. Yep, start again. And fuck, I was angry.
And that bit took a fair while.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
So I haven't got very far in this game at all because I'm playing it on the Mac.
No way.
And no way, because I have put at least an hour in of the same 10 minutes of the game over and over again because I get 10 minutes into the game and then crash. And I thought I figured it out. I thought it was, when you do that like far look. Mm-hmm. I thought it was when I was doing far look and shooting at the same time, it crashed. But no, I tried it at the start. When I loaded up again, no, it's fine. So it just literally randomly crashes on me. And I don't know why. Okay, so I'm extremely frustrated.
I downloaded through Humble Store.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say so. After we spoke about the game 2 weeks ago, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, I totally forgot that game existed." It popped up maybe through Steam, or I was doing something, come up, and I clicked it, and they're like, "Yeah, geo blocked. Yep, you can't have it in your area." Then I sort of remembered about the whole. Yep, it's been knocked back for classification in Australia, blah, blah, blah. And that was ages ago that happened now. So, and I'd put it to the back of my mind, I just assumed that game had come out. So when I'd mentioned it a couple of weeks on the podcast, I'm like, oh, that game must have come and went. And then it turned out, no, it comes out in like 2 days.
Yeah.
And then, anyhow, so I'm like, I had the whole block business. I'm like, I really don't want to download an illegal version. I'm like, okay, I'll check out Humble Store. So it was there, they're like, yeah, this is blocked in your country. And I'm like, okay, order. PayPal, bang, it's in there. I'm like, cool, okay, so it was then in my pre-orders.
Yeah.
Next day, bang, could download it.
Yep.
I'm like, sweet. So I downloaded it, a couple of PCs at home. Luke was then, and I was playing it, cool, away. I'm like, got around it. And I'm like, yeah, you can't get it for Steam. That makes sense. They didn't give me the Steam key. Luke was then on my Humble account looking for the download. He's like, where is it? I'm like, it's here. Went on my phone. I'm like, send him a screenshot. I'm like, here it is, just here, man. And he's like, yep. Went in there. He's like, click it. I did. No download.
No. Disappears.
So it's on my list.
Damn you, Tony Abbott.
But where did you get the Mac version?
Okay,
so there was a Mac link as well.
I logged into yours initially,
Yep.
and I was like, cool. So I downloaded the Mac version because it was on there. It was a game.
Also,
on
the
there.
Mac version and the Windows version.
Both of them were on there. Okay, and then the next day, Ben, who's been on the podcast, was like, "Hey, I want to play Hotline Miami 2." I'm like, "Cool." Doug's bought it, so
account is just a whore.
yeah. Doug's bought it, so I went to log in there to find the link and stuff for it. Then could not find it at all.
Because I was really confused how you had ever got it.
Yeah, no, I got it from yours and stuff.
And it's not a one download thing because Humble Store doesn't restrict you like it's DRM free.
Yeah.
So
well, that's the point of why I purchase games with Humble is because like it's there to share with friends and stuff is what I feel. And if one of you guys really enjoys the game, then go and purchase it and stuff. But like we each buy different games, so we each like work together and
especially this one, like I really enjoyed number one, and then this damn bug. I like have one PC at home that has Windows 7 on it that I probably, but it not good enough to run the game. Like just a crappy like server computer, and
it probably could run the game.
It probably could actually.
I had a graphics card that wasn't even a graphics
no
card.
Sound card though. And you'd want a sound
headphones?
Card. No sound card.
Oh, yeah, that game is like 80% music.
Yeah.
Huge part. I actually bought the soundtrack.
I ended up listening to other music. I was doing other stuff. Way changes the tempo. Like I'd get so razzed up otherwise. Like,
with the normal.
But it's funny. So I never probably played that many of that style arcade game. Obviously minus the gore, but from I guess what that's emulating that sort of era.
This is not like the only ones I can think of similar are the original Grand Theft Autos.
Yeah, but I'm more thinking just even though it's top down.
Yeah.
More stuff that you'd play two player like in an arcade machine one where there'd be the side scrolling, you had two characters and you'd sort of progress along, the level left to right sort of thing.
Like a platformer.
No, but where it was just you could move up and down, but it was just like a street brawler.
Yeah, platformer.
You'd call that a
Like
platformer?
Streets of Rage or
Golden Axe.
Golden Axe.
I guess any of those, and even the music style, like where it's just like wave after wave of enemy, and you're just moving along.
Yeah,
and that's what it for me gives me the sense of whether that's what they obviously visually. It's not the same style, but just that.
I like how you're looking at it. You're like, this game makes me feel like those games should have felt like this.
If I actually played them when I was younger.
You realise how gory they are.
Oh,
the
this
levels
game is-
that when you walk back. Is that obviously why they make you walk back to the car? So you have to walk back through.
That would make
That
pretty
actually
good
makes
sense.
yeah.
Because
To
I
see
was like,
what you've done.
yelled out to Chris, I'm like, Chris, look how freaking gory this is. I'm like, guys,
Well,
cut in half. and
Just before
guts everywhere.
I turned it on, I said to a mate that was over, I'm like, you got to check out this game, man. Like, this is the most goriest game I've ever played. He's like, I turned it on, he's like, but it's all pixelated. Why do you even play these pixelated games? They just look crap. And I'm like, nah, dude, this is brutal. This is a sick game.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
I think I said last week, didn't understand how anyone on the internet cared about this game. Like, number one. Like, I was like, why is everyone talking about it? How is it so gory when it is pixel
Yeah,
art?
Minecraft's it at the minute. This was Doug back
Probably.
then. Yeah.
No, it was just like, there was everywhere, like all the game, like lots of gaming sites were referring to it. And I was just like, I just don't get it. I'm like, how could this be fun? I'm like,
How could this be?
it's not worth $20. And then this one was out. I'm like, bang, pre-order.
I have to point out, I've got a US PlayStation account and an Australian one.
Cheeky.
I know. To get the reason why I did that is because I wanted to get a Scapegoat too, which came out only in the US.
What is that?
It was a game that Double Fine released.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Yeah, it makes sense.
I finished it. It was great.
Yeah.
Actually, that's another game I finished. It's fucking excellent. But on the American one, $15, Hotline Miami 2, and because it's a US account, bang, you could just purchase it.
Did you?
Oh, no, because I had it on the computer.
Yeah.
So
Doug's got it. Doug spent all his poor money working hard for.
working hard to make a living to play Hotline Miami 2.
Cut some heads off and things.
Yep, mate.
Ruined.
Yeah, but that's what I've been doing. I do like using swords in that game. And just going...
My
I haven't
favorite.
found swords yet.
Oh, okay.
I found skateboards.
Oh,
They
really?
look just like Bart Simpson's skateboard.
My favorite weapon in the first Hotline Miami was just the short little knife, because you just walk up to people and go, "Duh, duh, duh," and you just kill them
Yeah.
really quick. But I'm guessing that this one is going to have a lot more weapons.
There seems to
I
be.
would
There's
say
big,
so.
like, katana. And that's pretty
What
cool.
I'm still sad about is no multiplayer.
Oh, that would be the best, wouldn't it?
Like-
Local,
Miami
I would
too.
take local co-op.
Local
Yeah,
co-op and
yeah, single
Like,
keyboard multiplayer.
Even if
would
they
be
just
the
like,
best.
even if the developers just went, "Hey, we're going to make Hotline Miami as a 4-player battle royale." So just think it'd be like a top-down version of GoldenEye.
or Towerfall. Or,
Not Tower, just GoldenEye.
yeah,
Like, think about what GoldenEye was like with just 4 people.
Yeah.
And then you just have the weapons, you throw weapons in, like someone's like, no, and you got to click a certain
This
button.
was our discussion we were talking about.
We wanted to
Like,
make this
yeah,
game, but we don't know how to
mid-hog.
make games. So
Yeah.
any game developer out there,
But-
you'll make a lot of money.
But these guys are the same boat as what we were. They're like, we could use Game Maker to make a game we don't know how to make, and then
Yeah,
they
true.
made it.
They
So,
probably should do that.
so
But they didn't make it
Okay.
online because that's real hard.
yeah, no.
Yeah. Or just local co-op, maybe. That
Local
might not
co-op
be
would
hard.
be easier, I think.
I hope so.
Yeah, let's
Would
do
be
it.
cool.
Let's make it, Doug.
But
I
local
literally
co-op,
would be happy just with
local co-op would
two-player
be.
co-op.
You'd have to do it as online because local co-op, it's hard enough to see what's going on
Yeah,
one
you're right.
screen when you think
Yeah.
about it. You'd have to do it as like online only,
Yeah,
wouldn't you?
Maybe you have to look at the same screen and that's all you get.
But how cool would it be if you merged all your screens up together and, like, okay, you're at other side of the level, and then when they got close enough, it just became one screen, one
Like Lego.
that was all connected.
That's
yeah,
what I-
yeah.
like the Lego games.
But then
that was
if your
frustrating in Lego.
if your
but in
characters
this, I
do
think it'd
this,
work.
like that,
Yeah,
you swap sides.
That's exactly
Ooh.
what Lego did.
yeah. But Lego
Lego-
did it more frustrating.
Because it actually rotated this way. So to, like...
What Lego game are we talking about?
All the Lego games.
Oh, I've never
No,
played that. I've never played any of
Or
those
was it
games.
just the Hobbit?
No, it started before that. Like,
Marvel?
maybe Harry Potter.
That was one of the early ones.
Yeah, but the second one of that.
Oh yeah, so the second Lego game.
Right.
No. No.
There was Lego Batman
Or
before
maybe
that.
Star
so.
Wars. They're the only
There
ones
was
I
Star
played.
Wars. Yeah, no, there was
There's
a lot more
Lego
before that,
games
sorry.
before.
There was a couple of
yeah,
Star
any of them.
Wars.
Yeah.
And there was
There was a
couple
Batman.
of Legos.
There was tons more Lego
couple of
before
Legos.
even the typical Lego ones came out. It was just Lego games.
Oh yeah, there was one Lego Creator.
Yeah,
We
like
used to
there was
have-
a big world one or something like
Remember
that.
when? And like back then, I thought the best game I could ever have right now would be a Lego game where I could build something and then drive it around. That would be amazing.
Was
that
this
would be
Lego
boring as right now for
Creator
me.
game
I would not. I would do that.
that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Where there was like the Bricktron guy or something who escaped
Yes.
from. Yeah, I had that also.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't
and you were
remember
on
it.
an island
Yep,
and you
yep.
could build a race car. And for me, it was the same thing. I was like, there should just be digital Lego.
Yeah.
And this was primary school.
Oh my.
We are the same person.
We thought no. The thing is, we thought about Minecraft before it was big. We could have made it.
Lego could have made it, is more the reality.
No, but they would have had it restricted.
No, the blocks just would have little circle tabs on top. That's it. And it would have been sweet.
Brr.
Think about it. That.
And they would have brought out microtransactions. You had to buy
Each
sets.
block.
No, you had to buy sets.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
like, police set, $6.99.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. They'd probably make money in it.
Actually, that should be the Lego game they should make.
Lego Craft.
Lego Skyforge.
Yeah. Speaking of
Sky
Sky.
Saga.
Speaking of Sky.
Sky.
I happened to play Cities Skylines.
You did?
Yep.
The one that they just released?
Yeah,
where
the
someone
SimCity
made
like game that
Los Santos?
shats on.
Where
Oh
did-
yeah, someone
yeah.
make
Where
that.
did you play that? What do you mean you happened to play?
Well, I've played.
He
I've-
came
I've-
across, it was down the street, and someone
Yeah,
had
it's
it on
just-
their tablet.
Yeah, and they're just like,
and he's like, what are you playing? They're like,
No,
City Skylines.
I've put in so many hours on it that my eyes went red again. So this is one of
Really?
those games. Yeah,
Wait, this is SimCity,
Bit better.
but
but it's so much better.
It's just how everyone wanted it.
so
it
much better.
is it how we wanted SimCity? Because we all bought SimCity.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, City Skylines.
I didn't buy SimCity, but
Didn't you buy SimCity?
I just
Maybe it was the
I
rest
just-
of us that
because
bought
I didn't have internet at the time and it was
Oh,
online
that's
only.
right,
And I was
yeah.
like, well, fuck that. And then SimCity finally said, hey, we don't need to do online. But this game is just so much easier to understand. They even have a little Twitter bird that tweets things like, it's just
Yeah.
like, well, the power grid's not working. How hard is it to make the power grid work?
Really?
Yeah, I heard. I
Yeah,
did
like
hear all this
Hashtag, you're a terrible man.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what they do. And like the whole design and creation of it, how you make
better
your
curved
cities,
roads.
way better curved roads. You can do so much more, like so much better stuff.
So
in
much
it
better
without
dips.
putting so much crap into this game.
I'm sorry. All I can think right now is that episode of The Office where Dwight Schrute had to do a speech. Did you remember this?
No, I don't watch The
Did
Office.
you ever watch The Office?
I have.
Okay. Do you remember the episode where he had to make a speech and he had to literally he like got taught to do a speech and like said if
Yeah.
you bang down on the podium, people will listen to you. That's what you're. City Skyline is awesome.
And actually, like, this is the first game since this war of mine that I have been like, shit, I have to play this game and stare at it. Because I had a friend that she came over, she was waiting for the missus to get home, and the thing that she said to me was, were you in bed? Because my eyes were that red that I probably looked like I was sleeping at
Oh,
the
really?
time. Yeah. So it's just, it's captivated me so much. And like, I don't know if I'm near the end of it because I've nearly been able to build everything already.
I don't know. So we put in a fair amount of hours into SimCity,
Yeah.
but then it got to a point where it was like, this is the limit of the city, that's it, no more. And we're like, okay, there's not much more to do in this game.
The city limit in this, you've got your big square, which is fucking massive. But then, as the time goes on, you can buy other land in a plus shape.
Yeah. Tell me what's the sort of the mechanics of it. Like, I'll compare it to SimCity right now. I'll
Yeah.
just give you an idea. You've got the three major systems, electrical, water, and waste,
Yep.
that you literally had to just control through the roads and stuff. And then the city grows and you just had to manage that to
Yep.
like balance out the city. And you put down like residential area and you put down industrial area and you
Yep.
put down commercial area and you just blocked it out and it grew itself. How does this game compare to that?
So you need to make things to generate electricity, obviously. So you've got your wind turbines, or you've got your electricity power plants with your pollution and whatnot. Wind turbines don't have pollution, bit of noise, all that stuff as well. And you connect power lines, and then they just have to connect to, when you go into electricity, it'll make everything black and white, but what needs power will shine blue. And if that blue bit here, just say you've got a square of land that is housing estate, that electricity wire has to connect from the power line, from the power plant to that blue bit. And if you've got another blue bit ages away of residential or whatever needs electricity, you need to connect power. But if you build residential connecting those two together, all you need to do is go to that one thing.
Okay.
Because in reality, modern cities have electricity underground. So the power line gets to a main point. And
Do
then,
they?
Are you serious?
Well, we've got all electricity pretty much throughout Australia in poles outside.
Have you not seen new estates?
No? Oh, wow.
Do you not realise that there's no electrical power poles everywhere?
It's only high voltage that's up there, Luke.
Oh, really? Oh, I don't know about the...
Pay attention to that. Yeah, same thing with sewers.
Pay attention.
Sewers, all the sewers have is you just got to connect it to a water plant.
Yeah. Okay, how do you connect it? That's what I'm questioning.
You have water, like wherever your water source is.
Yeah.
And you got to make sure that it's hopefully clean water. So if you get flowing water, you do from the top. Then you connect pipes around.
Is the pipes like SimCity 2000? I think that's what...
Yeah.
Well, the pipes have, just say you've got, in distance, let's just use this as an example, you've got a centimetre of a pipe size. Mm-hmm. Now, that pipe, the distance that can reach would be, let's say, 20 centimetres. So 10 centimetres left, 10 centimetres right. And then that just has to cover underneath the land. And that's all it is. So that's all you need to do. Is like you could literally have
you build a city on top.
You can have a square grid, and then each 50 centimetres you do a line, and then that covers that little block, another line, that block, another line.
So you have to build the piping separate to the electrical system, separate to the road, separate to...
But you also need a waste management. So you build your waste at the bottom of the water, so your waste doesn't flow into your clean water.
That's really...
And that's all connected. Yeah. So, but then if you get a bigger city, you need to build more water plants and more power plants.
So if you wanted to be Marxist, is that right? I don't know. If you wanted to control the city and people were revolting against you, you could just connect the waste to the top and be like, well, you're all going to die.
Well, I haven't had anyone revolt against me because I'm a pretty good mayor. Raise my taxes up a little bit for a couple of days and then they go, oh, and then I go, let's bring it back again.
I raised the taxes to
How
the
many
max.
hours have you sunk in?
Oh, shit. I don't know. I reckon that...
When did you get this game?
Yeah, I was going to ask. After the last podcast.
Probably the day after or the 2 days after it came out, so maybe 3 or 4 days ago. Probably 3 days ago.
And you've already put in...
I put in...
Is this why you hadn't finished the order? Because you were like, I'm playing City Skyline. Wow.
Yeah, it got to the stage
where... You said nothing about this at all.
That's why I want to talk about the podcast. I got to a stage where I played it, and it got real dark, and I had to turn my lights on in my bedroom, because my eyes started to hurt.
Spooky too.
And then I didn't eat dinner. So I chose not to eat dinner and keep playing the game.
No pause?
Oh. No. Well, there is a pause, but I got too... I was playing it from... I think I started at maybe 4 o'clock in the afternoon after I did all my business. And then I'm a business man. I play it till about 9:30, not realise I haven't eaten tea.
Oh, yeah.
And then I just kept playing until 12:30. And then my friend rocked up.
When you mentioned the light before, now I'm going to go off topic here for a second. Yeah. And it was something I forgot to mention about the order. Okay. I'm not a huge horror game fan. I don't play scary games. I don't like them and stuff like this. I'm playing The Order in the lounge room. My wife's sitting behind me on the lounge and stuff. However, I'm playing with the headphones on. Okay, so it's very loud in my ears. Get up to the point where I'm like, all right, there's werewolves here. Okay. Walk around, start hearing some noises. Okay, pause. Headphones out. I'm like, hey, honey, you might want to watch this. This scene looks like it's going to be a good scene. She's like, oh, okay. So I'm like, start playing. Sounds coming through the TV. I'm like, oh, this feels a lot less scary now.
Yeah, you little bitch.
Are you even serious? I thought you were trying to scare her. I thought that's where.
No. I was starting to freak myself out, and I was like, okay, I have to pause this for a second and get back. I'm not good with horror games. I'm not good with horror movies or anything like that. Especially when it's straight in your ear.
A little bitch.
That was one thing, actually.
Imagine a horror movie with the Oculus Rift.
There's movies already coming out.
Or the Vive.
The what?
The HTC Vive. Vive.
God
damn it.
Vive. Actually, it was probably Vive.
Vive.
I don't think so. I just want to quickly say, of the order, again, I actually thought the sound quality. Like the surround sound quality was top notch. Like as in,
Not with your surrounds.
yes,
yeah.
it was. It was fine.
This
He was
guy.
an idiot.
Hey, someone's talking in front of me. They're over there to the far right.
Well, that's how that scene was done. But otherwise, you could.
No, it wasn't. It's because you fucking
You're a fucking idiot.
Your,
You were
center,
like-
your center speaker is not centered.
It was fine when I was playing.
Yeah, it's
He's
'cause
used to it. His ears
It's
are.
probably 'cause you're
He's adjusted his ears.
high on crack, sitting on your beanbag, like
You know
this
what-
far away from your TV. No wonder you go
I
wear
don't
glasses.
even-
Did you say
Why?
high on crack?
Yeah, he's smoking crack.
You don't have to come to my house, Reese, if you're going to be a fucking cock. Essentially, like I don't invite you around to have to listen to your shit.
I
Mate,
agree. The sound
I
quality.
brought you swingdings, all right?
Yeah, they were like $2 on sale this week.
It's the thought that counts, Doug.
It wasn't a thought. I had to message and tell you not to be a tight ass and bring some.
I
Razzed
do,
up.
I do agree. The sound quality was
You're a
really
shit
good.
bloke.
The music was exceptional. Like that, it was really nice music throughout
Yeah,
the game.
until it got to like
Um,
Halo music.
The only sound thing I have to point out, which frustrated me, was the repeat of the Galahad from Izzy
Yeah.
near the start of the game,
Yeah.
where like there was the.
Are
where
you
she-
just
the-
copying what I
No,
said?
it was exactly what you said, and I know you did point it out, but it was last week.
Okay. Yeah.
And I wasn't here. But 100%, it annoyed me when I was like playing through, and then she goes, Galahad, in a completely different scene to when she goes, Galahad, as you fell. And I was like, are you serious? You're literally repeating the same
Quite frustrating.
audio. Like, no, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Because I can hear that.
I know.
Yeah. And I'll point it out on the podcast.
Any other questions about cities, Skylines?
How much is it? Let's find out.
$30?
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
I think so.
That's super
Yeah.
cheap and
I think
awesome.
it is. I think it's around that. It's probably a little bit more for Australian monies. But yeah, gameplay questions, Lucas, as anyone would normally ask.
I think we're out of time.
Almost.
probably
Well,
are.
we've got one more question, Doug. What do you want to know about? It is $30. Far out.
What do I want to know about? Oh, we've got one more question. I just pump the brakes. Like,
I think I might have to get this game because I was about to buy the
Another
expansion
game for you.
pack to
If you
SimCity.
did you sort of enjoy SimCity?
yeah,
you played
I
it?
had seen this game was out, but I was like time constrained that I knew it would be a time whore.
It isn't that much of a time haul, but like it's a time haul, but it doesn't feel like it's a time haul.
I think we should start hashtagging time whore.
We will make it happen.
And what was the other one? Wet Lucas.
Wet Lucas.
That one will probably be
Wet
less
Lucas.
like
time haul.
similar to wet dog, like smells.
That'll take off, I reckon.
That's gonna look weird on video. I'm like rubbing my legs while saying Wet Lucas.
so we could slow it down.
Go wood.
Yeah.
Oh,
Remix it as well.
just
Auto-tune it.
wait for E3, and she's gonna say so much stupid shit again.
Oh, I cannot wait for
She's
it.
gonna just be like hard girl dick, because it's just gonna be acceptable then for them to say that.
E3, I'd seen it mentioned somewhere this week going, I was like, that will be good.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, we are live streaming the E3 coverage.
Oh,
From here.
we're going.
We are going to be here discussing E3 while we're watching.
Work. E3, we don't live in America.
We'll have
so
to
it's
take
like,
the day off, I guess.
that'd be nice. We should do that.
We don't all have cushy jobs.
Yeah.
What do you mean? He's the only one with a cushy job.
Oh, piss
He's
off.
the one who sits on his butt
Whereas
all
you're
day.
just cushy.
Yeah. Oh. Exactly like Santa.
You jiggled it!
You just did it. No presents. We didn't get any presents. I think that's enough time
Yeah, that's what we got
for our
for
podcast. Doug's a bit too razzed up. Luke's just fat.
You're still a shit bloke.
And I'm a shit bloke. So we
that's
are the Trusty Crowbar.
And I'm Lucas Winningslow.
I'm Reese Whittingslow.
And
Douglas Bright.
that's better.
And if you enjoyed this podcast, leave a comment on YouTube's, or like us, dislike us, whatever you want. We're cool with it.
put a comment about something about him.
If
Yeah.
you happen to download us through iTunes, obviously lots of other ways to find us, but if you do, maybe throw us a review.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, or
Not
even-
maybe, just do it.
Or just rate us. You don't even have to review it. Just
Don't rate us, rate us.
rave us.
We don't want to get rated.
Rave us.
No way.
Rated. We
I
don't want to
listened
get
to a
rated.
podcast about someone getting raided.
Yeah, that's horrible. Yeah.
Oh, that's,
Oh, I listened
that's-
to that as well.
Yeah, you did. That's the
Is this
worst.
cereal?
No.
No.
I don't know. I don't even know what that's about.
You still haven't listened to Serial.
No, I haven't.
Oh my
I
god,
listen to
you do a podcast and you haven't listened to the number one podcast.
It took Doug
on
a
the planet.
while. It's going to take me even longer.
It didn't take Doug a
Oh,
while.
I've found it independently.
Yeah.
at the same time.
We both like texted one another the same day. Hey, have you listened to Zero? I have. It's great. Oh yeah.
Did you get Tony Hawk's with it? Yeah. I'm sorry. So yeah,
Anyway.
if you like us, just like us. Facebook.com/the Trusty Crowbar.
YouTube.
Tweet us at Trusty Crowbar AU. AU. And what else do we have?
YouTube.com/Trusty Crowbar podcast.
Fuck. I still struggle with this.
And did you hear his half-assed like announcement last week too? Right at
What?
the end,
What was it?
What was this?
like for potential future
Oh yeah.
endeavours.
Send us shit.
Oh,
Again, to all product people, send us shit. Please.
We don't need
not
to be
literally.
needy.
But
No, we're not needy. We're not needy. We've done plenty of stuff.
But we'd
we'll
like to do
support your
more.
product. As usual.
That's
Good
right.
podcast, guys.
Yep, yeah, definitely. All right, that's it.
Yeah, that's
Thanks all for listening.
outro done. Goodbye.